The market pulls back as expected. Should we expect lower or are the bears done? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in yesterday's video, we talked about the market pulling back towards that 53.40 to 50 area. No surprises, as that's exactly what we saw. The market pulled back and then bounced back up toward the highs. And now the question is, can the bears push it lower or are we headed directly higher? I'll get into that in just 1 second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP500 and the Nasdaq. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, before we jump into the chart, I do want to go over something. I think that most people who come to my channel fall into three categories. The first would be people who don't have time to actively trade but really appreciate the content, leave comments, and come by each day like my man Will. And I appreciate you all very much. That's a great thing that you do, and I love having you here. The second group would be the people who join my trading room. I really appreciate you guys. We have created one of the best, if not the best, trading community on the internet. I love having you in there. I love that we make money together. It's really fun. Or you're part of the insane clown posse. I don't understand exactly what these people do. They live in a world where they only hear what they want to hear and then post comments that make zero sense. As you can see from my man here, he said, up as expected, you've been calling for a top for weeks. Literally weeks ago, I said 5,400 on deck, and here we are right on the precipice of that area. I'm not sure what you're watching or what you're listening to, but stay here. I appreciate you as well because you make comments and you watch my videos. All right, guys, if you want to be part of the winning team and join the winning group, stay tuned for later in the video. But for now, let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 1 hour futures chart for the S&P 500. Yesterday, we came up into this 53.60 area, up to 70 in the afternight and or overnights and into the open. We shorted the open, had a nice winning trade there, and then market pulled back slowly all day. Not a huge surprise. We were looking for this pullback in wave 4. We'd like to ultimately see 53.30. However, this 53.47 area that they came down to is the 236. It does qualify as a potential wave 4. And should they push back up over the 53.66 area strongly, we would expect them to go ahead and break out towards 5,400 to 5,450 for an overall top. I would say over 5,400 a little bit just because we pushed and extended a little bit in wave 3, and we have so far a shallow wave 4. So 5,450 would be an area that I'd be looking for to top as a breakout if they're going to do that. But 53.30 would be the ideal target. So potentially we have an A and B in place, and we'd look for this C leg down to complete wave 4 and then higher. That would be the ideal standard Elliott wave path. The 236 is a common A wave target for wave 4, and then you get your B wave up and then C down into the 382. They can go as low as 53.17. Below that gets a little bit tricky for the bulls. When you retrace 50% of wave 3, it's very uncommon for the market to follow through to the upside. So you would want to see them hold that 53.17 area as a kind of, not line in the sand, but a barometer for the bulls' strength. Below that and the bulls are weakening, doesn't mean they can't take it higher, doesn't mean we can't have an ending diagonal or something like that, but it is a sign of weakness in the bulls. Again, to the upside, if we have made the low, we would expect them to push up here, hold this low, and then drive through 5,400 up towards 54.25.50 in that area to complete. So no surprises, everything going as planned, as we've talked about for a while now. Looking for that 5,400 area, still seeing lots of divergences, still seeing lots of bearish activity if you're looking in the right places. And we would expect this area to be a top, but until they make that top and break support, pressure is up. Did you guys hear that before you make your comments? Pressure is up until we break support. Over on the Nasdaq. Okay, on the Nasdaq, we have the same sort of setup, although they were a little bit weaker. They did not get to their 236, which is the 18,980 area. We would look for them to try to come down and tag that area before heading higher. However, if they don't, this would still be considered our wave 4 here. It would just be a very shallow wave 4 in this case. But we would much prefer it come down to at least 18,980 and ideally the 18,890 area in this area for a wave 4, and then push back up out of there for wave 5 back towards that 19,200, 19,150 area to complete the overall move off of this low here. And then we'd look for a breakdown to the downside, pretty much exactly what we've been saying for the last however many days this has been on the upside with this setup. So looking for that pullback into the 18,980 to 18,890 area. Below 18,817 is the slippery slope on the Nasdaq. If they get below that, the bulls are showing weakness, and we would be more inclined to see the market push more downside than back to the highs. So 18,890 and then 18,817 being your line in the sand for the pullback, and then otherwise we'd be looking up toward that 19,150 to 19,200 area next to complete that move. And again, until we get there, turnover and break support, pressure will remain up. Guys, if you love the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link. It will take you right over to the webpage. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible plans. They both come with a 7-day free trial because I want you to get in there, make sure you love it, become part of the trading team, and make sure it's for you before you ever spend a penny. You can cancel at any time. You literally have nothing to lose by checking this out. We also have our Elliott Wave educational material. We have our beginner's course and our advanced course. In our advanced course, we're going over the advanced patterns you're seeing in the market right now. I do believe we are in a potential expanded flat. And in that video, we go through how it looks, where the fibs are, what they look like. I go through it right here. The expanded flat here in this example is the COVID low. And many people didn't see this move coming until COVID came. They said all COVID caused that low, whereas Elliott Wave called for this to be a topping area. They were looking for an ABC down into the area we came into on the COVID low, but what we got was an expanded B wave that took us up very high. It was one of the highest, biggest expanding B waves you can have. It hit the 1618, and then it fell sharply in a C wave to the target we were looking for overall before exploding higher. Now, these types of structures are hard to identify, and the videos and the training in this course shows you how to do that. As you can see on the screen, it is helping traders understand the market when it does these crazy things so that you can be prepared for anything that happens. However, if this is a little bit advanced and you're just getting started with Elliott Wave, we also have our Elliott Wave for Beginners online course. This course is helping real traders make real money and finally understand this market in a way that makes sense. It can be very difficult when good news makes the market go down and bad news makes the market go up. And that's because Elliott knew that the news cycles meant nothing long ago. He knew that key levels mattered and sentiment mattered. And he knew what happened when those key levels held and what happened when they broke. And this gave him a huge advantage over the rest of the market. Now, in this course, we go through 25 videos in 3 parts. Your introduction, where we go through your expectations, your mindset and emotion, the KISS method and why it works. Chart setup, where we go through every tool you need to use with Elliott Wave Theory, how to use it and why we use it. And then the Elliott Wave for Beginners course. In this course, we go through each of the Elliott waves, how to measure them, how to understand them, how to know if they invalidate, how to find the key levels that matter that you trade off of, and understand this market in a way that makes sense. We go through the theory of alternation, the corrective depth theory, the pivot, all of the different concepts that make this market identifiable and predictable. Now, the really cool thing about both of these videos is if you want to get them at a discount, we have our bundle plan where you get both of them for $37 cheaper than if you bought them on their own. But if you don't want to pay anything at all, you simply become a member of one of our monthly rooms because all of our educational material is included in your membership. In our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where we go over exactly where we're at in the counts and what to expect, as well as the training material you just saw. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing and day trade, which means we trade quite often in my room. Now, if you're looking for futures trading, individual stocks, income trading, and advanced trading, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as individual stocks, PT's income trading method that just crushes it, his advanced training, which is his reduced risk binary method that gets you in at a cheap price and gets you huge multiples on your money. And it's how he structures that trade that's so unique. It's something you kind of have to see to understand, and that's another reason we give you the 7-day free trial. And he also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account trading mini ES futures, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we'd love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. All right, key takeaways for today. The market continues to follow our path. We're looking for him to hold 53.30 ideally. 53.17 becomes a problem for the bulls. Back above 53.66 strongly, and we're looking at 54.25 or so on the ES. Over on the Nasdaq, we're looking for them to hold the 18,890 area. Below 18,817 becomes a problem. And should they push back over the 19,100 area, we're looking for them to push to the 19,250, 19,200 area to reach the top of this B wave here. Guys, it's the weekend. Grab yourself a drink, get out of the house, have a great time with your family, and I will talk to you next week.